Well, CBS News has obtained video that appears to show President Trump ordering the removal of Ukrainian Ambassador Marie Yovanovitch. Now, the clip was recorded at a dinner in April of 2018, a year before she was forced out of her position. In the recording, a person believed to be Rudy Giuliani's former associate, Lev Parnas, is heard describing Yovanovitch as a potential risk.
The president is later heard telling Parnas to, quote, get rid of the ambassador. Parnas and another associate at the dinner, Igor Fruman, allegedly helped Giuliani in his attempts to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden and his son in Ukraine.
So for more on this, let us bring in CBS News White House correspondent Paula Reid. So, Paula, Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham actually spoke to Fox News yesterday about this video. I want to play what she had to say.
I believe that he was there with Rudy Giuliani, somebody that the president trusts, and the president has said that many times. So if somebody that the president trusts has somebody else with them and he's giving him information that he'd already heard, and again from the president of another country, I think it's very reasonable that the president would listen to that no matter if he...
So it's hard to see in that video if Rudy Giuliani was in the video or not, but you actually spoke to Rudy Giuliani, and what did he have to say?
That's right. And Marie, he confirmed he was not at that dinner. And in fact, he tells me he never met Igor Fruman or Lev Parnas until June 2018, several months after the dinner. This completely undermines the narrative that the White House press secretary just put out there, raises so many questions. For one, how did these men come to dine privately with the president of the United States? They try to argue it's because they had a relationship with someone the president trusts. That's not true. Why are they giving him advice on foreign policy, and why is he listening? Now, the other big issue is why the White House didn't do the simple fact-checking to get their facts correct before coming out with this narrative. It took me 2 minutes, exactly 2 minutes. There are timestamps between the time I texted Rudy Giuliani and the time he got back to me with this information. Raises, once again, significant questions about the credibility of this White House press shop.
Wow. So, as you know, Paula, this all comes as the New York Times reports former National Security Advisor John Bolton wrote in his upcoming book that President Trump did tie Ukraine military aid to investigations into former Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter. We should note that the book is being published by Simon & Schuster, which is a division of Viacom CBS. So what has been the reaction in the White House to the book? They knew about it going back to December.
That's right. They received the manuscript several weeks ago. They've had it for quite some time. A lot of questions about exactly who here in the White House had seen it, specifically the president's impeachment lawyers. But right now, moments ago, the press secretary went out on Fox News and talked about this. Here, she denied what Bolton is saying. They denied that this aid was tied to investigations into the Bidens, and also accused John Bolton of trying to sell books. Now, look, there are some legitimate questions about the timing. I think there were some fair questions about whether Ambassador Bolton withheld important historical information for the record in an effort to help bolster book sales. But in terms of what was said between the president and the ambassador, right now it's he said, because President Trump has come out. He, too, has denied telling Bolton that the aid was linked to the investigations. But this is a moment when the credibility of this White House really matters, when you have a he said, because these allegations completely undercut the narrative that the White House has put out about this aid over the past several months.
Yeah, they certainly do. But will they have an impact on the impeachment hearing that's taking place? What have you heard from the president's defense team? Are they going to sort of alter their strategy as a result?
It's going to be fascinating to see, Anne-Marie. I've been texting my sources inside the president's legal team, and even the chatty ones this morning, their mom. They've told me they cannot discuss their approach because for weeks now, they've been arguing, insisting a core tenet of this legal defense is that this aid was not tied to investigations into the president's political rivals. And what's so significant is that on Saturday, after the president's attorneys presented for a few hours, I talked to some sources on the team. They were confident. They felt good. They said that whole performance that was so much more sober, I think, than what we expected, so focused on the facts. They said it was all centered around trying to give the senators, the jurors, if you will, confidence in acquitting the president. And now today, it will be interesting to see, as there really doesn't appear to be any question about the president, the math on the president being removed from office, but there is still this outstanding question of whether there would be enough Republican senators, if they could get 4, to vote to hear from witnesses. It'll be fascinating to watch today how they craft this defense. And if instead of focusing on acquittal, right now they're just trying to give the senators confidence in not moving forward from hearing from additional witnesses. But that's going to be tough, because if you're sitting in that chamber as a senator, it's going to be very difficult to look at what's coming out of the Bolton book and not worry about being possibly accused of aiding a cover-up if you don't push to hear from additional witnesses.
Really, really fascinating analysis and reporting, Paula. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. As always, we really appreciate it.